The story of James Calvin. Welcome to the story. As a child, he had a great life. His parents took care of him mornings and nights. Going to school, James having good grades from middle to high school with straight A's. Got to college with the knowledge of the start to be present every day for his art. One of the best days of his time was obtaining 4 jobs in one day in a line. His younger sister encouraged him to be strong and not to be bothered by haters of an outrun. One day, James met this girl. Her name was Laura. For a good turn, James got to know her very well. She's a good worker with great skills. They started dating for a long time, a good relationship for some great lines. They got married, having 2 kids together. James' parents was proud of a new family treasure. Things was going good until one day, James ran into a mysterious group on the wrong plate. It was a team called The Expansion, calling James one day while he was at his mansion. The Expansion team wanted to hire James for a fifth job, but he wasn't sure for the change. Laura told James what is wrong. James said it was nothing but a bad phone call of some stupid people handing me a job. They had strange voices in the team as a mob. Couple seconds later, the group called back. James picked up. It was them for a lack. They offered James money for a task. James let it ponder. They asked where is that? The group said meet us at the valley. James told Laura and the kids he going to a rally. As he meet the expansion group, they were dressed in all black, looking like false troops. They quickly gave James an application, needing his signature for the job tracing. As soon as James signed the paper, the expansion group said, "You're our new player." James went back home and did a head shake and just realized he could have made a mistake. The story of James Calvin. The story of James Calvin. The story of James Calvin. This will continue. The story of James Calvin. The story of James Calvin. This story will continue. In life, never be tricked by badness, because badness comes in many forms. Negative ways come in all types of levels. You have to avoid that until the bad people know. Stay away from deceptive plans. Stay away from the negative. Stay away from the negative. You must stay away. Stay away from the negative. The expansion group is a team filled with deception. James had to do their work or they'll get rid of him. He had to break into closed down stores, taking all the items for the wrong scores. James knew that his life was draining deep because he signed a daily contract for the Peep. This daily team is filled with 10 people, 8 men and 2 women, danger team lethal. Laura and the kids noticed James acting strange. They wonder what is wrong in his bad lane. James told his family about the expansion team that he'd been committing crimes and dangerous wins. He knew it was wrong living, so now he tripping until he called the expansion group for their permission. James didn't want to do their work anymore. Expansion team said, no, you stay on board. While on the phone, James yelled at the group very deep anger to them for his use. He slammed the phone down hard on the table after telling them that he done with their label. As a few days had gone by, James lost all 4 of his jobs in that time. Then he realized he ran out of money, so he called the expansion group back because he grumpy. Stay away from the negative. Stay away from the negative. Stay away from the negative.
James calls the expansion group, letting them know he wants to come back to join them. By this time, the expansion group has came to the point of they are tired of wasting time. So they bring James along as they advance their way to the woods of tragedy. James never knew that this would happen. As walking into the woods, as hearing the sounds of multiple owls, as the evening comes, the expansion team tells James he will be in for a bold determined. As they walk more into the woods, they see a man with chains around him and a deep scar across his chest, repeatedly saying that you are done. The expansion team gives James a sword machete to slice the chained man. James shivers very scared, as he was no longer in normal atmosphere. With this expansion team around him, James shouts, "I can't do it! I can't do it!" The expansion team warns James, if you want this money, you must do it. James declines again and says, "I can't," and hesitates. The chained man with the scar on his chest says, "Well, it's that time." As James goes down the mysterious path, as this army led him, he realizes now he has no options. He's caught. He must find his way to be severe as possible. Nowhere to turn. As he turned back, the group is there behind him. From all that success James had, all that entrepreneur, he notices his time is shortening. As he put his commitment to this team and knowing they're gonna backstab him, he feels it's about to come. He's seconds away now, seconds away, knowing that this could be over. This was his one shot to get back on top, but now it's about to be over, and it's going to end. It's going to end, and he feels he knows it. He feels it's time. James will always remember how great of an entrepreneur he was. As the story goes on of James Calvin,